break on Tuesday. Just coming at a good time for the team. Y'all need this. You kind of wish you kind of got back on the court for a game.
It came, so you just, what do? You take advantage of it. I would have rather played on Sunday, But tried to be as creative as we could this week and put a lot of thought to what we did. We've actually given our guys a little bit of time to rejuvenate mentally and physically. But we've also, we've gotten after it a little bit too. Really got after it yesterday. I'll go a little bit quicker today, but we'll get right back to work on some of the same things we worked on yesterday.
Go ahead, Chris.
Well, Florida's playing really good. I mean, they've had some noticeable road wins and stuff since that game.
Playing better than when we were preparing for them the first time.
Yeah, exactly. So I just wonder, as you get ready to play them again, obviously you guys were toe-to-toe with them. That was an incredible comeback, and I'm sure you hated watching that tape again.
You hate all those.
Yeah.
You hate all of them, when you're rewatching losses, but you just got to learn as much as you can from those films. I don't know that we went toe-to-toe with them. We banged some in, and we kept competing and fighting till the end, and had our chance, of course, to steal one on the road, but they really dominated the interior. Their guards didn't play their best game, but I think they've got one of the best backcourts in the league, which makes for one of the best backcourts in the country, and then obviously a top 2 to 5 offensive rebounding team in the country. They shot a really high percentage, then they went and got half of their misses, and then shot a really good percentage from the foul line. I mean, we didn't get anything going defensively, but again, we threw a few in from 3 to make it interesting at the end.
Yeah, you sure did. And so what? I don't know how many. I'm going to count this up later. How many one-possession games you guys have had at the end? But that's another one. So I guess there's positives. I mean, a lot of positive. Are you banging on that positive?
Yeah, I mean, we've been competitive. We have. I don't think anyone's overly pleased with our record, starting with me and our guys, our staff. We would have liked to have a few more wins at this point, of course. But that said, I thought we'd be a lot more competitive this year, and we have been. We had some ugly L's, a year ago, and in year one of this rebuild, and we were right there, with a few of our losses, and really have been competitive in all of them, or at least nearly all of them. And we look forward to the opportunities ahead and see what happens. But I'll be surprised, not how well we play tomorrow. I'll be surprised if we don't come out and we're really competitive and we don't play really, really hard, because that's what this team has done.
I was going to ask you a little more about Silas and the kind of job he's done in SEC play. Look at his free throw shooting. I think the last 7 games he's like 33 or 39. He's really, not only was doing terrible early on, but he's really kind of picked that up. How was that? That successful line. How could that translate into maybe in his game, maybe going in different ways for different things? He's able to maybe more driving, and I don't know, kind of taking advantage of his play in the lane, that kind of thing.
He's driven it a lot. He's drawn a bunch of fouls. He's a big, tough, strong downhill guard that puts pressure on defenses. He's had success in the half court. He's had success late clock. He's had success in transition. But I think his poise at the foul line and his mental toughness will continue to serve him well. He's hanging his hat on defensive rebounding, his position right now, one of the better defensive guards in the league, and he's developing more and more offensively. And I think he'll be a guy that takes and makes big shots, more so as he develops in his career.
You mentioned on the defensive interior there, working that kind of stuff, something Noah talked about as well, that y'all worked on to try to correct this week from that Florida loss. What exactly did that look like this week, kind of preparing to correct that?
Battling, grinding it out. We've had some battles in practice. And it's not like this team's making a bunch of defensive mistakes. It's just we've got a small margin on the defensive glass for error, and also just defending the interior in general. We're not a big shot blocking, shot altering team. We don't just come at you in waves with defensive rebounding prowess. So our details have got to be really good. When that shot goes up, we've got to contest, and we've got to put bodies on bodies. And sometimes the bodies that we're putting on our opponents aren't as big and strong or long or maybe getting off the floor as high, you know. And so, especially when you're playing a team like Florida, who's really tall and long, and they've got that depth in the front court, and they've got a nose for the basketball, and they're committed. They're flying in there to that offensive glass, and whether you're a guard, a wing, a big, you know, you got to do your best to fight, you know, to put bodies on bodies and help us collectively come up with some defensive rebounds.
RJ obviously had a huge game down there, and he hasn't quite had one like that, really before or since. But is that a matchup situation that's good for him with them, and that was just one of those crazy nights or days?
Yeah, we've had a couple of those. You know, playing from behind, playing with desperation, of course, and our confidence really getting going after you make a couple. But they were a little bit cross-matched at times. You know, he had bigs on him at times, and he took advantage. Glad they went in, of course. Regardless of what his matchup is, regardless of whether he has the ball or doesn't have the ball tomorrow, you know, we need him to play well and be competitive and be accountable. You know, we need him on the glass. We need him driving it. We need him taking good looks, defending at a high level. We need that from everybody.